Hello, ladies, listing queens. Welcome back to this segment. We have Barb Betts. Hi, Barb.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you for being here. So, ladies, Barb owns a boutique brokerage and it's called Real Estate Collective. And I love that name. I think it's phenomenal. She's in Southern California. She is a seasoned, successful broker and a speaker and influencer. And so our conversation today is going to surround creating content that will attract listings. So it's going to speak to homeowners. All right. So I want to start here with, I want to share with our audience here that you have, I would say, a deep vulnerability that you show. Okay. And I think that resonates on so many levels with why you're a successful boutique brokerage, why you're a successful speaker and broker and on all of that. And you shared specifically, as people will know when they go to your Instagram, your hair loss journey. Yep. So was that the beginning of your realizing that authenticity and vulnerability is the winning combination? And how did you fight the fear of, that women especially have?
Yeah, great question. So, first of all, my brokerage is the RE Collective.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. It does stand obviously shortened for Real Estate Collective, but Real Estate Collective is very commonly used now. So in trademark worlds, we have to be careful. So RE Collective. But anyways, so I would say that obviously my hair loss journey, and to be transparent for those of you that don't know me or haven't heard my story, I have suffered from female adult hair loss my entire adult life. It has been polarizing to me. It has frozen me in fear and in worry about judgment and comparison and all the things that us females deal with on a daily basis. And I finally decided a couple years ago, 2 years ago, to explore alternative hair solutions. I fell into human hair solutions, and I decided to start wearing wigs 2 years ago, full-time and transparently full-time, meaning I talk about it. I'm very open about it. I have 5 different ones. They all look different. They all have names. They all have personalities. All my friends know them, and I'm very honest about it. I take my hair off in front of people. I don't care because I knew in my heart that I wanted to be authentic about that journey. And the reason I wanted to be authentic was I knew I wanted to possibly help others. Like I knew there was other women walking through this space that are very afraid, very shameful, very feeling like less than because of their hair loss journeys. And it's extremely painful and it's very private and people don't want to talk about it. So I wanted to change the stigma around hair loss. As a result of doing all that, what I didn't intend to figure out is that showing up authentically, really just humanizing who you are, is the answer to building your business.
Yeah.
That's it. So yes, when you say, did I just realize this and stumble across this? Yes, because I had no idea the outpouring of support I would get. I had no idea that now when my husband and I go on appointments or when our clients call us, they'll say usually to my husband, oh my gosh, I just love the way Barb's showing up. I love how authentic she's being. It really shows that through your vulnerability, we can trust you. Like I had no idea that me sharing my hair journey would cause our clients to trust us more. But what happens is they realize we're human, they realize we're real, and they realize we're not going to tell them something just to tell them something. Like we're real good people. And that has caused our business to blow open. So I would say I stumbled across it on accident. It's always been who I am, but I was just afraid to share everything.
Right. And I love that. Okay. So what you talked about, especially with women, which is why I focus on women realtors, is that there's so much time wasted in that fear, in that shame, all those negative emotions. When I love how beautifully and simply you put that. With authenticity and vulnerability, that was the key to blossoming my business, right? Because then people see you as, oh my gosh, trustworthy. And the NAR, the National Association annual survey every year says they choose their realtor because of trust and competence. There you go. So talk to us about in the interest of this summit with getting listings, let's talk about content that drives listings. And I want to, we're talking about the power of storytelling.
Yep.
And social media. So which do you want to start with? Storytelling or
we can go everywhere and anywhere you want.
Let's go. Storytelling. Talk to me about.
Okay. Well, first of all, let's talk about why this is important to listings. Yeah. It's important to listings because at the end of the day, regardless of if you're looking for listings or buyers, the person that is looking to work with you, you said it, has to trust you. Every single client we work with is asking themselves 3 questions. Do I like you? Are you good at what you do? And can I trust you? If you can answer those 3 questions on every single appointment you go on, most of the time you're going to get the point. You're going to get the transaction. You're going to get the listing. Because from what I know of most consumers, they don't want to sit and interview 15 agents. They're looking for someone they like and trust, right? Period. And so how can you lessen that curve? How can you connect before the appointment even happens? That's through storytelling and using social, right? Because if you show up as who you really are every day on social media, and this is assuming that you are a nice person, then if you show up as who you are, and then you tell some stories throughout the day with regards to the questions the clients are asking.
Yes.
If you're answering their questions in advance, and then you throw in a little bit of who you are, whether it's you're a dog mom, whether it's your mom, whether you like to bake and cook, whether you like to drink wine, whether you like to work out, what car you like to drive, what sporting events you like to go, show the human side of you and that you are more than houses. Because I want to remind all of you, you are more than houses. Then when you do that, people get this attraction to you. They like you. They think you're a cool person. Throughout the day, you start storytelling, you start talking about the challenges you just helped a seller overcome. We just had a very horrendous windy night in Southern California. Like I've never seen wind like this in Southern California, and I live at the beach. I'm sure some fences fell down or some trees fell down on some listings. So tell the story about how you rushed over to get the contractor over there, to get the fence standing back up, to call the other agent, let them know it's going to be okay, to calm down the seller. Talk about what you're doing to service sellers, how you're helping them through this market. Tell those stories, sprinkle in a little bit of who you are along the way. And then when you walk into that appointment, they're already going to like you. They're probably already going to trust you. And you have to do far less work than you would have if you walked in as a stranger.
I love that. Oh my gosh, so many gold nuggets there. I love the fact of, think about your FAQs. You didn't say it this way, but that's what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Look, what do sellers wonder? What do homeowners wonder? Speak to it. Write in your content. Tell stories about it, how you've overcome things for other clients. Okay. And the other thing you said that I really love was, and I don't think you said it this way, but this is how I heard it, that in your sprinkling, as you call it, which I love, sprinkle in who you are, that they're going to feel a certain way. And in the way you make them feel with your content, with what you're putting out there, not only are they going to like you, they're going to want to hang out with you. They're going to want to meet you.
Agreed.
So it's almost like you're compelling people through your social media showing up.
Agreed. Well, I tell agents all the time, I tell them, listen, if we work in the same market and we are both referred to the same person, and they go to my social media and they go to your social media, and you are someone who doesn't show up on social, your profile's locked down, all I can see is your profile photo, it's a picture of your dog. And you can come over to my social media and see professional photo. You can see that I'm a mom, that I'm a wife, that I'm a business owner, that I train real estate agents, that I'm out in the community, I'm out in the field, I have kids, I like to have a glass of wine every once in a while. Whether you like alcohol or not, I still am humanizing that process. Right. 9 out of 10 times they're going to call me before they call you.
That's right.
Because they can see I'm a cool person. I look like I know what I'm doing. I don't look like I'm going to come over and be, mean or obnoxious, or, they get this comfort level. So when they open the door and I walk in their home, they feel like they already know me.
Yes.
And they compliment things like, oh my God, it's so refreshing. You're just like you are online.
I love it. I love that word, refreshing. How many people in the last week have you met that you could say that about? I don't know that I've met anyone that I can say is refreshing. So I mean, and the refreshing part, ladies, is letting down your guard.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
just be who the freak you are. Like I'm 5'11". Do you know how
Yeah.
many, like I hated being 5'11".
Yeah.
And when I graduated college, suddenly, I don't know what happened, but I loved it. And so, just be quirky 5'11". Like I can't fit in. When I was a realtor and I was out marketing, I was easily found. I was the tall,
Yeah.
gawky
You
one.
do you, girl. Like we all have things and people are going to love you for those things.
Right. Now, you said something that I want these listing queens in training to know. You said that it's less about what happens in the listing presentation, and I couldn't agree more, to the extent that they know you before.
Mhm.
Okay. And so what do you recommend as, and I hate to put it into a framework, but yet, because everybody's different. So I want to caveat it with that. But I do want to ask you, what has worked for you in your experience with respect to, do you have a percentage of time that you sprinkle in and versus storytelling versus bringing your family in? Like, what do you think has worked for you?
So what has worked for me is the mindset. Now I'm talking about putting out content like actual posts in
Yep.
the feed. I always say it's not even 80-20 anymore. It's 90% personal, 10% real estate. And when I say 10% real estate, I mean just listed, just sold posts, like the market updates. Like it's got to be such a small percentage of what you do. Now, can you sprinkle in first-time homebuyer stories and closings and a real cool tour of this cool kitchen because it has a very unique feature to it, or a beautiful backyard or something like that that people are actually interested in? Yes. And when you put your own spin on it and you feature yourself in it, then it's a little bit more personal. But when we're always, so I always say, I have this saying, and some people love me for it and other people want to throw things at me for it. But you know what, to be quite honest, when I say it, not a person in the room doesn't go, you're probably right, which is the only person that cares about your just listed or just sold post is the person that's buying or selling it.
That's
At
right.
the end of the day, we have to market the property. That's part of our listing agreement with the seller.
Yes.
But to use that as your only content to communicate to your database, your sphere, and your potential future clients is not getting you anywhere.
Right.
Now, conversely, on stories, because we're talking about storytelling, on stories, it's the same mindset, but different. Because if you do stories the way I teach you, which is to document your day, you're going to be talking about real estate a lot of the days for most of the day, because that's what you do. But you're going to be talking about it in an authentic, human, real way. You're going to be telling the real stories of what you did during the day, which was not, look at my beautiful 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet.
Yep.
You're going to be talking about the appraiser you just met with. And you're going to be making a comment on your stories like, guys, do you know how many, real estate agents don't meet the appraiser at their own listings? Or you're going to be talking about the home inspection because the home inspector just crawled out of the crawl space with something unique. Or you're going to be talking about the buyer that you just went and showed property to and how they fell in love with this neighborhood. And now you got to get back to the office to write the offer. Or you're going to be talking about that you went on broker preview to look at all the new listings in the community in the area. Like, you can talk about what you do during the day ad nauseum and not bore anybody, because if it's real, if it's human, if it's in the car, on the go, in your office, in your kitchen, people are really nosy. They
Yeah.
really, really like that stuff, right? And then in the morning and the evening and the weekends, or when you're off, you're going to be showing who you are as a human, which is more than just the house. But if you document your day, you don't have to throw up real estate on them in the feed, because people are going to stories far more than they're going to their feed. And they're going to connect with you. They're going to get to know the real you, and then sprinkle in some reels along the way, which is where we do the educating. You're golden. You're going to walk into those appointments and the people are going to be like, where do I sign? I already know you're good at what you do. Can you just tell me what my home's worth? Can we just agree on a price? That's what most of my appointments are like. They don't have to get to know me. They already know me.
You hear this, ladies? That is amazing. And what you just described, where you put your own spin on it, is what I call creating your own narrative.
Yeah.
Right. You just, as you said, put your own spin on things that you do throughout your day.
Yep.
And I think that I do want to speak to this and get your feedback on this, because what I hear is that women fear, what if someone fact checks me or I say something, quote, wrong? What do you say to that?
Well, first of all, you have to be, the ethics side of Barb, being a national ethics instructor, you do want to make sure that you're not saying anything incorrectly. And what I mean by that is, I think what you're saying is incorrectly, like it doesn't sound right, or I mixed up my
Right.
words, or I look like an idiot. Forget about that. No one cares, right? What
Yep.
I'm talking about is make sure you're not lying, or you're not saying something not truthful, or because that would just ethically not be a good thing. But
Right. But I guess what
making,
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, like, what I'm thinking of is if someone goes into the MLS
uh-huh.
and do, a search on a zip code or a county, and then they want to give, as you said, a market update. And then they say, well, what if my figuring of the average days on market or the way I went in there,
Oh
and
my
it's just
goodness
an honest
gracious.
mistake? And I'm like, wait, no. You are overthinking, which is
Agreed.
based. And as a CEO,
Agreed.
you can't do
Agreed.
that. You can't do
Because every single one of us can go into the MLS on a different day or different time and pull up a different report and have it be different. That's why when we do our marketing publicly, most MLSs require you on your postcards to put information current as of this date. Why?
Right.
Because any day you pick and pull information is going to be different. But if you have concerns about that,
Yeah.
so okay, let's talk about what good market updates look like.
Yes.
To be quite honest, it's not days on market. It's not average sales prices, because the audience you're talking to, I guarantee, does not just live in your neighborhood. Those kind of market updates, in my opinion, are for neighborhoods where people in the neighborhood care about that information. But typically, most agents I deal with, we work our sphere of influence, we work our relationships. And if you're doing that, your clients are all over the place. So you need to talk generally about the market and so I would say what's going on in Southern California. I wouldn't even get specific about days on market. I would say something to the effect of days on market in Southern California is up drastically. However, prices are not going down. And here's why, right? I would talk about it from a perspective of the general market. I wouldn't get specific, because the more specific you get on your social media, the more you are. There's nothing wrong with niching down. I am all about niching down, but you can't niche down so far that you're talking about a specific city. And now everyone else that lives in the surrounding cities aren't listening because it doesn't apply to them.
Right.
Versus talking about the county or the city or the area. So you live in Richmond.
Yep.
My best friend in real estate lives in Richmond. I would not encourage her to go on her social media and talk specifically about Chesterfield.
Yeah.
I would tell her to talk about the Richmond area, which, as you know,
Yep.
is many different price points, many different markets, and many different factors.
That's right. That's right. Oh, I love that. Very, very good. Now, talk to me about, since you are our expert on this, with respect to what I call repeating with delight. Okay. So if you have something, for example, an IG post, should you replicate it in a feed? And what are your thoughts on reusing or repurposing content for your emails and things of that sort?
Yes, 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 and more yes.
Thank you.
But this is where you have to get organized. This is where content creation is now part of your job, period. Content creation in 2023 and being on social is now part of your job. It's got to be part of your marketing plan. It's too late to say that you're just going to dust off social media every time you decide to open it. Then just don't be on it. Right? I mean, you got to realize this is one of the best tools ever given to us, especially if you work a database and a relationship niche like I do. This is the best tool ever given to you. You need a plan, right? You can't just decide one day, oh, I'm going to post it on 3 sites and then curl back into your I'm not going to post anymore mode. You've got to have a plan. And so I love schedulers. I'm a huge fan of software that assists you. My favorite is Planoly. There's Plan, there's Later, there's lots of good ones out there. Just find one. I mean, Instagram and Facebook now have their own natives. Do whatever you want to do. Find one. Because what you can do, to your point, a post I put on Instagram today, I'll schedule for Facebook 2 days later. And who cares? Because I guarantee the same people are not going to see it. And even if they do, they're not going to remember they saw it. People don't care that much about you.
Right.
Sorry, they don't. So, and should you take that information and put it in your email? Absolutely. My videos, my stories, my reels, they go on YouTube Shorts, they go on Instagram, they go on Facebook, they go in some of my emails, they go all over the place. I don't even know half the places they go sometimes. Repurposing content is one of the best strategies you can use, including going back and seeing what content worked in the past and redoing it or reusing it. Who the heck cares? Nobody's
Yes.
going to know but you.
Yes. All right. Great. I have a great question that I get asked many, many times, and I'd love to hear your take on this. In terms of landing pages or
Yes.
offer,
Yes.
in order to grow your audience,
Yep.
what do you find are the best things to offer to get sellers, homeowners?
Get sellers to get homeowners. So don't just offer them a market analysis, please, for the love of Mary, right? It is great, but it's what everyone else does. Everyone else does it. So homeowners want to know about their home. They want to know how to make their home better. And so creating some kind of, whether maybe it's now I love landing pages. Landing pages are a great way to capture people's information. So some things I've done in the past that have worked really well. Probably my best performing one was a guide to vendors and resources in the area, like the plumbers, the painters, right? All the people that people want to call about their home to come fix their home, to have come into their home. And they're like, I don't want to just, get on the internet and pick somebody. I want someone that someone else can put their name to. So those have always been really successful for me. Always things on fixing up their home. So, staging, not staging, because they're only going to stage a house if you want to sell it, but like interior design tips. Strategies for decorating, like all of that kind of stuff that people want for their home, something that's going to cause them to be like, oh, I'd like to get that. I'd like to read that. And then the last thing are the unique things. Like we have one going right now that actually is doing really well. It is very specific to LA County, but I'll still share it because other places might have something like this. So LA County just developed one of the best tools I've ever seen for homeowners, because fraud is on the rise with regards to your title. Right? Fraud is on the rise across the United States with regards to people going and recording things on your property that aren't yours. And so LA County just developed a new homeowner notification tool where you go online, you put in your address, you put in all your information, you claim your address, and now 48 hours after something's recorded on your title, you get the information. What I would do is create some kind of, do you want access to this? Even though they can go on the LA County assessor's site and get it, I would do some kind of, do you want access to this? Quick landing page, put in your email address and I'll send you the link. And now you just captured a bunch of people's email addresses that are homeowners. Like think about the things going on in your community that home sellers might be interested in, right?
That
Whether
is genius.
even if it's an e-waste event at the college, like here's a list of all the places coming up that you can go discard things. Like you have to get creative and understand that what agents are putting out is market evaluation, market evaluation, market evaluation.
And how about
That's not going to get you anybody's information.
Exactly. And I know privacy, everybody's concerned with privacy. And so you could even have a link to those privacy services about credit cards. You could put out privacy about, what is it? Making your home on the Google search, like rub it out or make it like they can't really see it.
Yeah. The other thing that's working really well for some agents on my team is because this is because, now that the world's kind of coming back to normal, right? And depending on what demographic you serve. So I would get into also the legal areas and provide some support there with, and even though it doesn't necessarily have to do with their home, it does. So for instance, if you have a younger demographic, I would get a good trust or estate attorney in talking about don't talk about trust. This is where one of my agents was magical in doing this. She didn't talk about trust. She talked about guardianship to the moms. And yes, that contained a component of trust, but when you tell people trust, they think too much money. I'm not ready for that yet. I don't have any assets, even though they do. So you talk about guardianship. With my demographics, which are older, typically already have children, I'm going to talk about trust, but I'm going to talk about it from protecting your parents' assets.
Love
and
that.
All of this just comes down to getting people's information, providing value, and meeting homeowners in your area. You put some of that stuff out on social, you do some of these workshops, can even do them on Zoom now. You're going to get people to respond. You're going to capture their information. And then it's a matter of sending them valuable. And this is my biggest pet peeve in the entire real estate industry, is we are not sending our clients and we're not sending neighborhoods valuable information.
Yes.
We're sending them tips on gardening or how to make a pie. I'm sorry, but that's not positioning you as a trusted expert in real estate.
Right.
It has to be related to their home or their financial well-being.
Okay.
Period.
I love that. I love that, because your home is many times, I'd say most times for most Americans, their biggest asset. Okay, so what I
Absolutely.
just heard you say was we need to stop being surface,
Mhm,
dig a little deeper
mhm,
into, as you said, the financial health of a homeowner,
mhm.
and their biggest asset many times is their home, and to
Yep.
think about what questions they might have that really are out of the scope of a realtor
Mhm,
by our job description.
mhm.
However, if you want to be an expert and rise to the top and show up differently and stand out, then you offer these things, and it's only access, perhaps access to the attorney,
Exactly.
access to the
Exactly.
link that they could get if they had, time on their hands, which nobody has.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love
Well,
this.
it's about capturing information so you can, because list building is one of the things that's not taught in real estate enough.
Right.
List building and capturing contact information is one of the most important things that you can do. And it's not just about knowing where someone lives. What you do with that list is what I get really cranky with real estate agents about, because what they do with that list is they spam them, or they just throw down market analysis down their throats because that's all they know to do. Instead of every time a homeowner sees your email come across, they know there's a video in there providing value. They know there's something in there that's going to connect to them with someone that might be able to help them. Then they're going to actually open it, see your face, watch the video because they know it's valuable. But the only people, again, that care about the real estate you're selling are the people that are buying and selling it. Now, if you work a farm or a neighborhood, you absolutely want to market to that neighborhood,
Yeah.
properties, information, and stats. But I live in Southern California. I live in Long Beach. I am sandwiched right in between LA and Orange County. And my radius of where my clients live can, I don't know, 75 miles north and 50 miles south. My clients at the ends of that don't care what's going on in Long Beach, which is where I actually live. So I only send out Long Beach real estate information to Long Beach people. And I think this comes down to, I know we're supposed to talk about social media, but the fundamental basics in real estate of having a good CRM that's tagged and categorized. So if you do want to send out an email about Long Beach real estate, it's only going to people that live and
That
live
have that zip code,
surrounding Long Beach.
right? Yeah. Oh, I
But if
love
I'm
that.
going to
No,
send
and
out
I'm gonna
information, if I'm going to send out information about a trust workshop, I'm going to send it to everybody in my database.
Right, right, because it's applicable. I love that.
Exactly.
And I love that you brought up email marketing, because when we create demand, which is really what this discussion is about, really what the whole summit is about. It's about growing your audience,
Mhm,
growing it with your people
mhm,
that are going to resonate with you. Some
mhm,
people won't like you. They won't
mhm.
like me. And
Yep.
there's nothing you can do about that. It's okay. So
Mhm.
as you sprinkle you in there, as you said it, then we're going to repel those people that are like, for some reason, I don't like her. Cool. That's great.
Okay.
Save me some
Bye.
trouble. Okay. Save me some trouble.
Yeah.
Right. But it's about growing your audience and then deepening the relationship with them,
Mhm.
demonstrating that you care through
Yep.
your expertise, not people pleasing, because women
Exactly.
tend to people please. So, what do you suggest in terms of an email? Like, because I love how, you said, look, if you have a market update for a certain county, then send it to only those zip codes in that county.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
if you have a regular email, I hear, like, I tell my coaching clients weekly, and I'm sorry, it doesn't have to be this long newsletter. I think that's out. I think you just get a poignant, 2-minute or less video and write it out, and boom, the person who likes to, look at it, they'll just watch your video, which they'd rather read it, they're done. But what are your thoughts on that?
So I think at first is knowing who your audience is. And so we talked about that a second ago. So my husband and I do network and farm in our neighborhood we live in. They get a different email sometimes than my database does, because my database, again, doesn't care about things going on in my community. So neighborhood farming, neighborhood email marketing needs to be important to the neighborhood or the community, period. And if you're going to send something weekly, it needs to be valuable, because the more you send, the easier it is to shut you off when they're annoyed seeing you every single week, or when they haven't even got, because don't forget, a lot of these email boxes that we're sending stuff to are not someone's primary emails.
Right. Good
And
point.
so if they're only checking that every month, or not every month, if they're only checking that every 2 weeks and they see
Yeah.
2 emails from you, now they're annoyed with you and they're going to unsubscribe really quickly. I'm very proud.
Unless like the annoyed part, because I hear so many of my clients are fear-based, and they say, I don't want to bother them. I don't want to annoy them. And that brings like just me back real quick to, then what you're not, like, if you wouldn't want to open your email, like
Exactly.
if you wouldn't want to open it, then of course you're going to be like, oh, I don't want to bother them. It's got to be valuable, and it's got, like, you make it a party. That's all I wanted to say as far as that goes.
Yeah, no, it has to be valuable, or don't send it. Don't send
Right.
it just because it's time to send something. It's got to be something of value that they're going to want to open.
Right.
And so for me, we send it out monthly to our database, and our database email, so our Spear email, is different than our neighborhood community email. Our database Spear email is me on video, very raw. Hey, it's Barb. I don't go through a long introduction. They better know who the heck I am, or I'll say, hey, friends. I don't even say my name half the time. Hey, friends, just want to give you a quick update. What's going on in real estate? 2 to 3 minute, action-packed, informative. Sometimes it's just funny. Sometimes it's like, I got nothing to share with you guys. Real estate's really freaking crazy right now. You know the drill. If you have someone like, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's about you. But in our database email, it's, information connecting them to vendors, things that are going on, whatever's going on in lending. California is a really cool new program right now. If you follow a California realtor,
Yes,
you've definitely heard about it, right? It's actually, California finally did something right. But my neighborhood is going to get something completely different. My neighborhood's not going to get that email where I'm saying, hi, friends, because I'm not their friend. They don't want to see me talk to them like I'm their best friend. So I'm going to position myself differently to my neighborhood. So I don't think you can send the same email to everybody. I don't think that you can send it at the same frequency. I think you do have to have something to share. But what we use our email marketing for is we do use our email marketing for throwing up real estate on them. It's where every single under contract, just sold, it's like this long. But what does that show them? It shows them we're active. It shows them we're still selling real estate. It shows them real estate still selling. It gives them an idea of prices. It shows them the communities and neighborhoods that we're selling in. There's always value. There's always an action item. There's always a vendor we're showcasing, a tip we're showcasing. Neighborhood and community, it's more Long Beach specific, neighborhood specific. We're doing a shred event we're promoting. We just did a garage sale we're promoting. It's always something about them. And of course, if we have any Long Beach local listings, which we always do, they're in that email. So this is where I know it's hard, but you gotta run your business like a business. And I can laugh about this. Funeral homes and mortuaries and cemeteries. I hate to get, death, here we go, but this is true. They don't market to 20-year-olds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have to market appropriately to your audience. I know I get cemetery plot. This is hysterical, but I get those out. I get those mailings. Why? Because my name's Barbara and my husband's name is Harold, and we look like we're 90 years old. So I get long-term care insurance. I get all this stuff that just makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Though I know I'm not that company's ideal client, right? I know that. And as realtors, we are wasting our time sending marketing and information to people where it doesn't apply to them. And that's where you're getting muted. The quickest way to a listing, send some information to the people that are most likely to sell their home in the next 6 to 12 months and make it valuable. That's how you're going to get a listing.
That's right. And there are several sources for that. There are title companies. There are other services that actually show you when someone is 1, 2, 3 months behind on their mortgage.
Agreed.
Right. What do you use, or what do you think if someone said, I want to choose one thing, which is always good to just
Of
master
course.
one. Okay. So what are your thoughts as we close out?
Well, oh my God, one thing. Well, for me, it's got to be social media. But I'll be transparent, Jan. I don't think social media is the quickest way to a listing, right? It's a little bit more long-term because you've got to deepen the relationship. You've got to build the relationship. You've got to find the person that has the need. Quickest way to a listing right now.
Yep.
There is no doubt in 2023 and probably into 2024, things are going to continue to be hard, and they probably are going to get a little bit harder. You have to go find the people that have to sell. My only focus right now for myself and my entire company is death, divorce, relocation, and financial challenges. Because those are the 4 reasons that people will give up a 2% mortgage.
Yeah.
People are not going to give up a 2% mortgage because they want another bedroom or bathroom. So when you're sending marketing about want to upsize or downsize, it's not making sense right now to people.
Oh, that's a really good point.
You need to remind people that I know how to handle probate transactions, that I know how to handle difficult divorces. My husband and I specialize in that because there's 2 of us, and one of us usually connects to either spouse. So we really leverage that.
Great.
You need to, your point, find people in financial trouble. We have a solution for you. You likely have equity. Let's help you get out of this. Let's help you, eloquently move on with your life. Relocation, networking with other realtors across the United States. People are still moving for jobs, networking with corporate relocation people in your area, like the big corporations that aren't quite big enough to have national relocation. They still have people moving. You got to market to where people are actually selling their homes. And it's not right now
That's
just because
perfect.
I want a bigger house or I want a pool.
That's perfect. Yeah. One of the things that I used to do with my team was I assigned each of us 4 HR VPs of the
Mhm.
hospitals, the big
Agreed.
companies, and those HR people they loved us because
Agreed.
they knew that we would take care of them. Barb,
Agreed.
where can people find you? Thank you so much.
You are very welcome. So Instagram is my jam. I'm on Instagram a lot. I'm at Barb Betts. It's super easy to find me. I'm obviously over on Facebook as well. There's not many Barb Betts out there, so I'm super easy to find. I love connecting with other real estate agents. It's part of my passion. I always answer all my own DMs. It's not anybody else but me. And you have any questions or you want to go deeper, just let me know.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Barb.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too.